students, today I am going to discuss another poem by Robert Frost, and the name of the poem is Fire and Ice. It is the second poem which is in your first chapter of your literature book, the first flight, and we have already read the first poem of Robert Frost, Dust of Snow, and this is his second poem, Fire and Ice. And from the name you can understand that it is a metaphorical poem. Fire and ice, two paradoxical things, two opposite things, but both have some kind of power. And in this poem, Robert Frost has dealt with that power of fire and ice, and we have a perspective of the poet looking towards the power of these two things in this poem. Now, before I start reciting and sharing the meaning of this poem, I must say that this poem is said by some critics that it is a tribute of Robert Frost to Alighieri Dante's Inferno. Inferno is Alighieri Dante's magnus opus, or a magnum opus, or a great work, which is Inferno. Inferno in general, Inferno means a devastating fire, or in a common tongue, Inferno means hell. So in this poem, the poet Robert Frost gives us an example of fire and ice, and how fire and ice can make destructions, both can make destructions, and it is a metaphorical poem. Now in this poem, fire and ice both have metaphorical meaning. Now I will recite the poem first, and then I will clarify the metaphorical meanings of the words. The poem is like this: some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Some say the world will end in fire. According to the poet, some people say that this world will end someday, and the reason for that ending of the world will be fire. Everything will be burning in fire. Some say in ice. On the other hand, some people say no, it will not be fire. The reason of the end of the world or destruction of the world will be ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Now from this line you can understand the metaphorical meaning of the poem, of the word fire. In this poem, the poet has compared metaphorically fire or desire with fire. How? According to poet, some people have great desires, and then the desire of those people to achieve something is so great that they devour everything on their way to achieve that thing. You know what is devour? Devour means covering something and finishing it. I mean, taking something in full inside you and completely consuming it. Now devour, the fire will devour the whole forest. That means the fire will consume. Now consume means eating, basically taking something in. Now literally fire cannot eat something. Here it means that fire will burn or finish the entire thing. Now for some people, desire to get something is so great that they don't hesitate to destroy things, everything on their way to get that thing, and eventually they will end up destroying the world. So in these 4 lines, especially in 3rd and 4th line, the poet has described desire with fire, and according to him, the illegitimate or uncontrollable desire of some people to get or achieve something will bring the end or destruction of the world. On the other hand, he says, but if it had to perish twice, if the world had to perish twice, I mean, for the first time, if it is perished for the reason of fire, on the second occasion it will perish, and the reason will be ice. Because the reason is, look at the 6th line, he says, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I know enough of it to say that for destruction ice is also great. Excuse me. To say for destruction, I think I know enough of it to say destruction, to say that for destruction ice is also great. Now, in these 3 lines, the poet describes or compares hatred with ice, which is cold, and would suffice, and it will be sufficient. Suffice means enough, sufficient, and perish means it will destroy. Now, the paradox in this poem is fire and desire. Those are opposite things. Here fire represents desire, or in other words, love for something. Now this kind of love is not unconditional love. This kind of love means you are loving something to get something, and this love brings desire, which is like fire, which will devour or burn up everything on its way. On the other hand, the poet describes ice with hatred. Something is cold, hatred is cold, where there is no warmth in relationship. You know, warmth is compared to love in relationship. On the other hand, hatred is cold, where there is no warmth. Now that cold, that hatred can also end the world as well. So according to the poet, love and hatred both we have in our life, and in both the cases, if we cannot control them, the love generates desire and hatred generates coldness inside us, which will harm our relationships and which will bring eventually the end of the world. So this is the core meaning of the poem. The rhyme scheme is A B, A B C, B C B. You can see I have already written the rhyming letters at the end of the lines. You know, the end of the letter, end of the line at the end of the lines denotes the rhyming words at the end of the sentences. So here are 3A, there fire, desire, and again fire. We have B in ice, then twice, then ice, then suffice, and we have C in 2 occasions. One is hate, one is great. So these are the this is the rhyming scheme: A B, A B C, B C B. And figures of speech, we have enjambment, because lines, single lines are broken or divided into more than one. The first, for example, the first example is first 2 lines. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. This is one line. On the other hand, from what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. This is another line. So these one lines are divided into 2 lines to create the poetry. It is called enjambment. Assonance, when single vowel sound is found or used in single sentence more than once. For example, if you look at the 4th line, I hold with those who favor fire. In this line we have the vowel sound of O in 4 occasions. Hold those who favor. So this is assonance, where the vowel is single vowel sound is used multiple times in a sentence in close contact. It may be in beginning of the word or middle of the word or in end of the word, but in one line, one sentence, more than once a single vowel sound is used is called assonance. And consonants, where single consonant sound is found in a single line. For example, same fourth line, I hold with those who favor fire. In this line we have the sound in with and those. In both the cases we have simultaneous examples of the sound which is a consonant sound. So this is an example of consonants. This is the poem for you. I hope you have understood. Thank you.